Shalom, 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 and shalom. News is somewhat depressing these days. Only bright side I found in the whole thing is the House is voted to not fund part of Obamacare. I don't know what part of it. They should just fund the whole lot. And cast away is a bad idea and group whatever money that they haven't spent and use it for something like paying off the debt. Not to mention reducing government, which has a bunch of garbage that we don't need. Because they're not supposed to be doing that anyhow. So, I mean, that's in the Constitution. It's not their job. But that's okay. They arrested a college student, I can't remember senior or what, for handing out copies of the Constitution. Excuse me, not arrested. They told him not to do it again. Sorry, overstated. I was thinking arrest because that's just the way this moronic society is going. Caught something else in the news. I found this laughable. Apparently, the world only has, and let's see if I can get this right. I'm trying to remember on the top of my head. 1.75 billion years left before the planet's extinct. According to some moronic idiot astronomers who don't know shite about anything. Why do I go that far? Well, according to them, the Earth only has a livable environment for about 7.75 billion years. And after that, it either gets cold or too hot or too something. And that's assuming, according to them, that we don't blow ourselves up, come up with some disease, do some warfare, whatever, some type of human-caused mass extinction. And we only have about 1.75 billion years left on the old clock. My comment to said astronomers, bullshit. I'm not saying plants don't have an anticipated life expectancy, but their basis of their foundation of their hypothesis, and when it really fails to even be that, is really based on bullshit. They have no facts to back it up. It's just what we like to call a assumption. Let's see. There's about 200 Christian casualties. I can't remember, but I want to say 75 dead, 150 wounded in Kenya. So we got deaths in Kenya. We have deaths in Pakistan, because that occurred not too long ago. Like this week sometime. Let's see. We got Christians being killed in Egypt. And probably several other places I haven't even heard of. I want to get a chance to look at the news like that. There's a bunch of other things that were in there. It was just depressing just even looking at it. That's probably why I don't even look at it anymore. Because everybody's doing everything to push everything into the final days. Which is a series I'd really rather be working on. But no. I have to deal with morons and debunk their lunacy and ignorant statements. And I can't go to pure teaching. I'm actually picking up some work that Sarraih did about 2 years ago. And I've advanced her work. I've tied it in a lot more. I could do a lot more than that if I ever had time to work on it. Which is really the subject I'd rather be talking about. Because this week I've also unsubbed from a Christian, Jason Burns, who floods my bloody feeds with complete trivia. Not a Christian, just wants to be and trying to tell everybody how much of a Christian, how righteous he is and everything else. He's full of shit. Not buying any of it. Nope. Actually, the Bible talks about a lot of things he was doing. That ain't worth debunking. I also left Rob Lester as well. He's on an anti-theist kick right now. Yeah, you can't teach the blind to see, and you can't teach the deaf to hear. So I don't waste my time. I just, whatever. Not worth my time. You started off with a proposed question. Okay, questions are good. Because it's a question. All he's tossed up lately is just ridicule. And actually for Rob, the case he made against Christians is the same case that could be applied exactly against him, because he has faith that his thoughts are correct. Not facts. Faith. Not based on anything. It's based on hate. So, whatever. Rob can do whatever Rob wants to do. I mean, I don't have anything against him personally. I'm just not willing to sit there and listen to a lot of blasphemy. It's just it. Don't hate the man. Don't wish him ill fortune or whatever. I just don't want anything to do with him. Not right now. I'll talk to him if he ever wants to talk, but I don't really see it being fruitful. It's too much on an anti-theist kick. Because I would go back to the same thing I mentioned earlier, that I've advanced Sarraih's work and sort of tied in the pre-flood history, early pre-flood history, which means if one's true, the rest is probably accurate, which totally disproves all the other atheistic nonsense. Don't get me wrong, I have atheists who are friends. I do. I like them a lot. I don't agree with them. They don't agree with me, and we just let things, pass. But I can actually getting down to solid facts, to where if we can prove a piece of history, we already know Yeshua was here. That's biblically, not biblically. Well, it's biblically backable and also historically backable. We know that there was a King Solomon. We know there's a King David. And if we can prove that there was X people after the flood, we just proved that, and we just made a continuous line of truth. Try to get that through somebody's head. And the truth of the matter is, humanity has not even reached the technological scale that we were at post-flood. I'm talking within 200 years of post-flood. We haven't even reached that technological scale yet. Now, they didn't have what you would call a computer. They didn't have what you call TV or that. They didn't have a need for that type of apparatuses. But they had other things for other reasons. Whatever. That's fine. Believe, don't believe, I don't care. We even got this comet that's going to be cruising through the solar system. It's called Ison. We're about, what time is it? We are about 10 days for its close approach to Mars. The closest point it will get to Mars, which is pretty darn close. Assuming their trajectories are accurate. Of course, we're not getting anything out of NASA. I'm assuming they can add. But nothing on the trajectory. Nothing on it. Nothing on anything. They're taking the pictures about once every 15 seconds. Where's the pictures? We're not getting them. So there's a big hazy cloud over that turkey. So we're going to be, so the comet is going to be at its closest point to the sun on November 28th, the first day of Hanukkah, the Festival of Lights. Oh, Mo Ghra, just so you know, I mean, I don't want to tell you, things after the fact, and you make wild assumptions that are not factually true, which I've already proven isn't. I'm going to go see a person by the name of Rockland 19621947. I am going to see her. She will know I'm there. She's my proof, as I have proof for the other garbage multiple times. So if you don't mind, I'm going to go see Rockland. Of course, I'm assuming you'll probably say that Rockland and I are stalking you or some craziness. Haven't ever stalked you. I don't go near your channel. I don't go near your comments unless we just run into each other. I don't go any place that you frequent. Hard to stalk now, isn't it? As I said before, you made up the whole shite from the day one. Of course, you're not woman enough to have a conversation. You never were. Just hide behind a door, a barrier, anything like that, like a computer program or something, and you just hide there. And then you make up all this stuff to justify your actions. Where I just keep saying the same truth over and over and over and over. Which is why I don't get into atheist arguments. It's futile. I mean, their points, if they have questions, are valid. But at least there's a question. Well, if it's okay with you, all right, at Eisen's close approach, which will be Hanukkah, I'm going to go see Rockland, okay? I'm going to be with her. She's my proof that I will be there. And thus impossible for me to make wild jaunts back and across the United States like I have the money to do that for no reason. So I will be with Rockland, okay? I'm with Rockland. She'll be my proof. And I tell you what, I will try to get her to record some video on something. Just so you can see me there. Yep. But if you're woman enough to ever keep your word, or at least actually do what you should have done back then, have something called a conversation, you know where to find me. Until then, not much I can do. Not much I will do. I can get beefy about your constant insinuations that are not true and you're publishing as fact when we know it's not true. Even you know better than that. But if you want to find me, you know how to do it. I made sure that you had every possible number that I had at the time of this nonsense started. I gave you my parents' numbers. I gave you my number. I gave you my number at work. I gave you my work cell phone number. I gave you all that. I gave you addresses. I gave you the lot. So you know where to find me. Well, it's baking here. I'm going to get something to eat, and I still haven't called Rockland this weekend. And I'm probably late. Just the way my day's going. Today is day 6 of my work. Of course, I didn't work on the Sabbath, so I didn't work at all. I refused. And I got a lot of work to do. Yep. I figured I'd do what God said one day, and 7 I'd rest. And I do what He says. Every time, all the time. And if I learn something I'm doing is wrong, and is out of ignorance, then I grow, I learn, I progress. And I don't fault anybody for wrongdoing that I did. If I was right, wrong, or human-wise, right, but his way, wrong. I admit it all the time. I have nothing to hide. Except things that I did in the military, which I'm not exactly proud of. So, everything else is hidden, in that area. The rest is open. So, if you want to find me, look for me. Everybody else, have a good week next week. Take care. I got to work on Melanto again. He's a nut. I already got it said, I just haven't done it. Well, shalom. Talk to you later.